Companies with substantial cash reserves possess a unique advantage in today's dynamic market landscape. Their financial flexibility enables them to navigate economic uncertainties, capitalize on strategic opportunities, and drive long-term growth. In this video, we will examine the strategies employed by cash-rich companies to optimize their surplus funds and explore the implication for investors and the broader market. If you are new to my channel, request you to subscribe to the channel. So let's start this video. Let's start with a simple question. Cash flow. Why it is important? You would have heard different terms relating to cash flow like cash inflow, cash outflow, operating cash flows, financing cash flows, and the investing cash flows. So what I'm going to do now is that I'll be talking about why the cash flow is very important. I'll be giving an example of an individual first, then I'll be talking about the company. So let's take an example. There is a company XYZ Limited and they are looking for a finance manager. They want to appoint a finance manager in the company. They have shortlisted Mr. Joseph, whom they want to join the company as a finance manager. Now, there are two options given to Mr. Joseph to select in the job offer. The first offer, which is offer A, is salary 20 lakhs per annum, but to be paid on 31st December only. That means the salary is 20 lakhs, XYZ is committed to pay that, but the cash outflow from XYZ Limited will be on 31st December. That means Mr. Joseph will be getting the salary in his bank account only once in the year, and that is 20 lakh rupees. Now, let's see what is offer B. Offer B says salary 18 lakhs. They're not going to offer 20 lakhs, but it will be paid monthly. So what is the amount paid to be paid monthly is 1.5 lakhs. Now you tell me which offer Mr. Joseph is going to accept. Definitely it will be offer B. Why? Because Joseph will select B as he require cash every month for his regular requirement like rent, food, kids expenses, etc. So what we understood in this slide, we understood that liquidity is very important than getting a lump sum once in a year, right? Because you need to spend money regularly for your needs. Now, similar example, I'm going to talk in the next slide about the company. Now, let's try to understand from the company's point of view. So, for companies to understand the cash flow, they prepare a statement which is called as cash flow statement. And this cash flow statement helps in understanding the source and application of cash in the organization. As I explained to you, there are three sources of cash flow which is determined by the company. One is the operating cash flow, that means your general operations of the business. Second is investing cash flow, where the company invests and the returns are recorded. And the third is financing, that means you borrow money from the bank or you get money from the share capital or you pay dividend to your shareholders. All is captured in the financing activities. But I'm not going to talk about financial statement in details here. What I'm going to talk about to show you that how a profit and loss account reflects in the cash flow statement and how it gives a different interpretation for the shareholders or to the management team. So let's take an example. We have ABC Limited and you can see the profit and loss account here. Income revenue from operation is 50 lakhs. Expenses is cost of sales 20 lakhs. Net, or you can say gross profit, is 30 lakhs. Then you have all other expenses like employee expenses, depreciation, other expenses, other gain and losses. And then the net profit after reducing all these expenses from the gross profit is 16 lakhs. Now, this is the picture which is given to the shareholders or to the board management. But now if the board or the shareholder would like to know that out of the 16 lakhs, what actual money has come to the company, right? That will give more clarity. That will give more understanding that how quickly the company is getting the money and how quickly the company is making the payment, right? Now, let's take scenario one, cash flow. So out of 50 lakhs, the company could collect 30 lakhs from the customer during the year. Cost of sales 20 lakhs, but the amount actually paid to the supplier is 17 lakhs. So gross profit in cash is 23 lakhs. 30 lakhs minus 17 lakhs. Now when it comes to expenses, employee expenses 6 lakh 50,000 in the P&L account, but actually paid to the employee 6 lakh. That means there could be some provisions towards bonus or variable pay or commission for 50,000, which is not paid. Depreciation is always a non-cash item. So the 4 lakh which is reported in P&L account doesn't form to part of the cash flow statement because there is no inflow, there is no outflow. The payment for the fixed asset would have happened on day first, not now. So it is zero. Other expenses 2.5 lakhs. Out of that 2 lakh has been paid during the year. Other gain and losses out of 1 lakh, only 50,000 has been paid. Now what is the net profit? It is 14 lakh 50,000. That means out of 16 lakh amount which is reported as profit in the P&L account, the company has realized only 14.5 lakhs. Now let's take another scenario. Same company in a different scenario, different cash flow statement, different scenario. 50 lakh rupees out of that collected from the customer is 45 lakhs. Cost of sales 20 lakhs, but paid to supplier is 15 lakhs. The gross profit in cash is 30 lakhs now. Employee expenses out of 6.5, 6 lakh is paid. Depreciation as usual it will be nil because non-cash item. Other expenses out of 2.5 lakhs, only 1 lakh has been paid. Other gain and losses out of 1 lakh, only 50,000 has been paid. Now, what is the net profit you have in cash? It is 22 lakh 50,000 rupees. Now, from the cash flow point of view, which scenario will be better, or which scenario the shareholders or the board management will appreciate the effort of the company? It will be scenario 2 because the cash flow what we have today is higher than the profit and loss account income. Okay, so there could be different scenario in the company where the situation may change. It's not that always you'll have higher cash flow. It depends on the management team how they fix the payment terms of the suppliers and customers. But in this example, you can see that company with scenario 2 will have more liquidity. As I gave you example in the previous slide, that you get monthly salary so that you have high amount of liquidity to spend money. Here in scenario 2, the company will have opportunity to spend more money compared to scenario 1. Now from the next slide, I'm going to talk about what advantage these companies get who have good amount of cash in their balance sheet. Benefits of having surplus cash. Now let's understand what actual benefit a company will get if it is holding or generating high amount of cash inflows. The first one is survive economic downturns and shocks. So surplus cash act as a financial buffer during recessions, supply chain disruptions, or sudden drop in revenue. So any unusual market impact this company can sustain, right? Example, during the 2020 pandemic, cash-rich companies like Apple and many major Indian IT firms were able to keep operations running, pay salaries, and avoid layoffs even when revenues slowed. Now let's take a business case so that you can understand in a better way. There are two companies, company A and company B. You can see company A liabilities, capital, reserve, creditor, and provision. You have 50 lakh, 20 lakh, 10 lakh, and 5 lakh. Liability total is 85 lakhs. When it comes to assets, you have fixed asset 20 lakh, debtors 20 lakhs, inventory 10 lakhs, and bank balance of 35 lakhs. So this is how you have the balance sheet for the company A. Now coming to company B, capital 50 lakhs, reserve 20 lakh, creditor 10 lakh, provision 5 lakh, 85 lakhs. Liability. Coming to assets, fixed asset is 20 lakh, debtor 20 lakh, inventory 40 lakhs, bank balance 5 lakh, total is 85. So I kept the comparative same. What I have only changed is the inventory is higher in case of company B, cash is less. In company A, inventory is lower and cash balance is high. That is the only difference I have made it here so that you can correlate and understand what I'm trying to explain. So in these two companies, what you can interpret? Who is having high liquidity? It is very clear that high liquidity is with company A because it is holding high amount of bank balance. That means they have realized their inventory and they converted to cash. In company B, they have good amount of inventory which is not encashed and the bank balance is lower, that is 5 lakh rupees, showing a less liquidity company. Right now, company A and company B are competitors. Which company can survive during recession? Now, for example, this is the situation, and in upcoming months the recession starts. So, out of company A and company B, who can survive? Okay, that's the challenge now. So, in this scenario, the benefit goes to company A. They can survive, they can do well during the recession market. Let's see why. Having cash, okay, or you can say have cash for making day-to-day expenses, need not borrow money, which can add additional burden on the P&L. As company A is having good amount of cash, so they can pay day-to-day expenses, right? Again, I'm connecting to my first slide where Mr. Joseph require money frequently. So same situation here. But what will happen for company B if you want to spend something good amount? 5 lakh is not enough. At the recession market, they can't sell this inventory faster, so they have to borrow from the market, which will impact to the P&L, mostly the bank charges and interest cost. Now, what is the second benefit for the company A? Can give additional payment days to its customer, which will help customers to manage their cash flows. So during recession market, all companies will be in stress, right? Because of the cash inflows. So big companies with high cash amount, like in company A, they can give more payment terms. That means instead of making payment within 30 days, they can ask the customer that they can make payment to other company in 60 days. You extend higher credit period. The customer is happy and you also get the money on time, right? So that is one advantage if you are having high cash. The third one is can attract customers of company B as company A can provide more payment days and at lower cost. So if company B customer is dealing with company B is already having a lower cash balance. So what he'll expect? He'll expect that customer to make quick payment so that company B can survive. But in company A, they can talk to the customer of company B and ask them that why don't they do business with company A where they can give higher credit period. So obviously the customer will move from company A to company, sorry, come from company B to company A. So these are the advantages what the company A is going to get if company A is having good amount of surplus cash. Second benefit, growth without relying on debt. Excess cash lets a company self-finance expansion, R&D, or new markets instead of taking on expensive loans. Example, a cash-rich pharma company can build a new manufacturing plant using its own reserves instead of paying high interest on a bank loan. So I'm taking the same example here. I'm not going to read out the balance sheet as I already explained in the previous slide. Company A and company B are competitors. Which company can grow or invest for future? Benefits for company A. Why? Because it is holding high amount of cash. Invest in expanding the business as there is no borrowing required. So this cash can be used to invest in a new manufacturing unit or it could be a new product. Second, invest in new market geographical locations as they have high amount of cash. Now, company B is struggling. They're not able to capture a geographical location. For example, in India, they want to capture the market in the east. Because company B is having less amount of cash, they don't want to expand the business in east because they have to borrow a good amount of money. But company A being having good amount of money and they don't rely on the debt, they can expand the business in the eastern part of India. It is just an example I'm trying to explain. And third one is pay high amount of incentives to dealers, etc., or maybe salesman to increase the sales. As you are having good amount of money with you, you can give incentive to the dealers so that you can promote your sales faster compared to company who can't invest more in marketing or pay incentive to the dealers. Next benefit is make strategic acquisitions. So mostly what I'm going to talk is mergers or acquisitions. Cash rich companies can buy competitors or complementary business quickly, often at better prices than leverage buyers, right? If you have less cash, you will do more negotiation. If you have good amount of cash, the negotiation can be lighter, right? So Microsoft used its strong cash position to acquire LinkedIn and GitHub, integrating them into its ecosystem without over leveraging. So if you are cash rich, you can take your decisions faster. Next benefit, invest in innovation and R&D. This is very much required or need for every company to survive in the competition. Surplus cash allows long-term bets on new products, technology, or digital transformation. So just for your information, R&D takes a good amount of time. Like in automobile sector, a new product takes 3 to 4 years time to be developed. So you have to fund that. Second, to recover that R&D cost, you have to sell good amount of vehicles in the market. So it requires time. So if you borrow good amount of money from the market for R&D, paying interest for a longer period is never a good plan or never a good decision by a company. So it is always good that good amount of money from the reserve is utilized and for that you require good amount of cash. Example, Amazon has repeatedly reinvested cash into AWS, logistic and AI, turning these into major profit engines over time. Coming to the next benefit, return value to shareholders. Definitely, the shareholders they have invested in the company for two reasons. One is the capital gain, and second is dividend. So companies can pay dividend or buy back shares, which attracts and retains investors. Example like Reliance Industries or many large Indian IT firms use part of their cash reserves to pay regular dividends, signaling stability to investors. Recently, there was a case where Infosys they did a good amount of buyback around 18,000 crores. So this all is possible because you have cash. If you don't have cash, you fail to pay dividend, the shareholders may leave you and go to a company who is paying good amount of dividend. Next benefit, negotiate better terms with suppliers and lenders. As you are a high cash rich company, your suppliers and customers will be behind you to do business with you. So you take the advantage of that. So strong liquidity gives a company bargaining power on pricing, payment terms, and interest rates also. Example, a cash rich retailer can negotiate longer credit terms from suppliers or secure cheaper loans because banks see it as a low risk. If you are a cash rich company, banks will not charge high interest rate. Next benefit, take advantage of market opportunities quickly. So cash on hand allows a company to move fast when competitors are struggling or when assets are cheap. Example, during the 2008 crisis, some cash-rich firms bought distressed assets or land at discount prices, which later became highly valuable. Right. So if you have good amount of cash, take the advantage of the situation, get things at the cheaper rate. Next benefit, reduce financial risk and interest burden. With surplus cash, a company can prepay debt or avoid new borrowing, lowering interest costs and leverage. Example, a cash-rich bank or NBFC can repay higher cost debt early, improving its net interest margin and credit rating. Next benefit is attract investors and improve credit rating. A strong cash position signals financial health and a discipline, which boost investor confidence and credit worthiness. So, for example, if somebody is issuing bond in the market, the first thing the investor will look into the cash status of the company. If there is lot of stress on cash, then liquidifying that bond after 1 year or after 2 years or after 3 years is a big challenge. But if the investor finds that the cash flow or the cash status of the company is good, then they can trust the company that they can pay back the bond or they can pay the interest on time. Example, investors often prefer cash-rich companies like HDFC Bank or TCS because they see lower default risk and higher resilience. Next point, fund employee-centric initiative and culture. This is very much required. You have to retain your talent, and to retain talent, you have to spend more money on that. So surplus cash can be used for upskilling, better benefits, bonuses, or workplace upgrade, improving retention and productivity. Example, many cash-rich tech companies invest heavily in training programs, wellness initiatives, and innovation labs, which help them retain top talents. So these are the top 10 reason or top 10 benefits of holding good amount of surplus cash. Now coming to the last slide, to the end conclusion from my side, surplus cash is not just a number on the balance sheet. It is a strategic weapon that lets companies survive downturns, fund growth, make bold acquisitions, and reward shareholders without relying on debt. When managed wisely, a strong cash position turns resilience into competitive advantage, giving companies the freedom to innovate, invest, and act quickly while others are constrained. For any business aiming for long term success, being cash rich is not about hoarding money, it's about using the surplus intelligently to win in the market. So that's it from my side. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I request you to subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, let they also understand that why a cash rich company is surviving the market. Thank you.